Okay. We're gonna do that, delete. Okay. Live and live. And I am just going to wait a little bit, and we are going to get rid of this file. Actually, let's just get rid of this whole folder, and I'm start from the very beginning, wherever the hell it is. Oh, it's in there on accident. Okay. Hello. Hello, welcome. If you see me looking over here a bunch, it's because I have my iPad set up so I can view the chat while I program, because I only have one monitor right now. And I am going to get started here in a second. I just want to let me just check this real quick. Participants, okay, cool. How have you been? It has been a long time. I'm trying to get back into this again. Let's close that out, and let's not now because I don't care. Okay. And we will just wait a second here. Is Jen gonna be here today? Probably not. It is pretty late. But that's funny that you said that. Let's see. Man, I'm kind of chilly. Hold on one second. I'm gonna grab a... You excited to learn some Python? I actually met her in person not too long ago. Drove to Atlanta with my girlfriend. We met up with her and her husband and kids. Oh. You excited to learn some Python? Or were you just here for Jen? Yeah, she got a husband and kids, man. Sorry. My chat isn't working on here, so I gotta fix that. Are you here for the Python? You excited? You want to learn some things? I turned that off just for a second because I gotta do some confidential thing. How old is she? 30s? 40s? 30s. Late 30s maybe? I don't know. Chat box. And take this. Sweet, man. Yeah, I love Python, dude. Pretty much what I'm gonna go over here It's very basic stuff. I'm pretty much just going to do a bunch of simple projects just to kind of give people an idea, you know, try to, I don't know how to explain it, I guess, but I gotta fix that. Move that up just a tad. Alright, it's been a bit since I've used this. Okay. There we go. I'm set up. My chat's now working. We are good to go. So I am just going to get started. And I think what we will start with... I'm trying to get my stuff situated here. Okay. Why did my chat go away? My chat went away. I didn't want my chat to go away, but it did. There we go. Think it's good now. I just have to move this. Where's the chat at though? Where is it at? That's not very useful. God damn it. Ah, there. Okay. Now I got it. How's your software dev job going? It's going pretty damn good. I'm working right now on the Nike, with Nike, working on that client, so that's cool. Do that. Okay. Cool. So let's get started. I'm gonna just jump into here now. It looks like we got more people, so this is a good time to get going. So what I am using, I'm using a MacBook. I like MacBooks for programming. They're a little, in my opinion, easier to just get set up and everything. I think so anyway. You know, you just download. I like to use Visual Studio Code, so I'm going to work in here. It's super easy to install Python on a Mac as well, whereas in Windows it can kind of get messed up with your file paths and stuff like that. So we're going to, I'm going to walk you through opening a whole project. So one of the things you have to do, and it's not a requirement, Mac or Apple actually has Python built in, but one of the things you need to do is sudo easy install Python, I think, and then you type in your password, and it goes through and it installs Python here. I already have it, and then in here there will be a little pop-up to install PyLint, and you just click install, and that'll take care of all that good stuff. So we're going to create a folder. So I usually just click open. I'll just go to, like, you know, here, and we'll do Python tutorials. I'm a big fan of camel casing. Let's see, open. And so you're always greeted with this welcome page, and it's just this, the thing you just saw, so I always close that out. We don't need that. Ugh. So we're going to open we're going to create a new Python file. We're just going to call it hello world py, and that opens up a new file. And usually I already did this. I don't know why this is this really going to be a pain in the ass. I already installed this, so we're just going to click X on that. I don't know why it's being weird. Anyway, let's see. Sent you the pictures. Oh, cool. I'll check those out in a little bit. If you don't mind asking, how much do you earn? I probably shouldn't say how much I earn because that's kind of weird. I sent you a DM with the pictures. Cool. I will look at those soon. Okay. So we're going to do the basics. And what I want to do is I'm going to comment my stuff out just so you can get... that way you can kind of keep up and you understand what's going on better, even on the super basic stuff. So basically what we're going to be doing is we are going to print a string, print text to the console that says hello world. So how do we do this? Well, it's super easy, and one of the things I love about Python is it's very nicely laid out. The syntax is very nice. You just type in print, type in hello world, and there we go. That's it. Now we can run this. I have an extension downloaded. It's one of my favorite extensions. It's called Code Runner, and in Visual Studio Code you just download that and you're set. You're good to go, and all I need to do is hit Control Alt N and it runs it down here in the sorry, in the output. Right here you can see how long it took it to execute, where it ran from, when it finishes, all that good stuff. And actually this should be standard practice is single quotes. It shouldn't matter for the most part, especially in Python. It's just a scripting language anyway. It really doesn't matter that much, but you can see this little difference. Look at this, 0.049, 0.048. So every little piece adds up, right? So it's one less character, two less characters technically, well, kind of, but yeah. So that is our hello world function. So, or I mean project. Simple, right? Fun, easy, cool. So now we're going to open a new file. I'm going to just break these out into a whole bunch of files because why not? Let me see the chat real quick and just make sure. So what I want to do next, oops, that just freaked out, man. Alright. Yeah, okay, there we go. Type in Power Rangers. Type in, okay, let's go back, we'll type in Power Rangers. Print. Print. Yeah, and you can type in whatever you want. Power Rangers. Actually, before we go into the next file, we'll show you a couple more things so we can run this. And there we go. Hello World Power Rangers. And then what you can also do is print basic, well, actually not even basic, print math expressions. So we can just simply go in here and do 3 plus 3 and then print, oops, print, and we can do 3 times 5, and let's just run this and we'll get everything down here. We got hello world, we got Power Rangers, we got 3 plus 3, which is 6, we've got 3 times 5, which is 15, and then you can do really complicated stuff like 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, and that's 27. So basically it's doing 3 times 3 first, you know, order of operations, because parentheses, and then it's multiplying that by 3. So you can do quite a bit of stuff just right in a print function, or print function, and you can just print out pretty much whatever. But we're gonna move on here to another project, and this one's going to be different. We're going to do random math. Oops, we gotta rename this with the Python extension there. Alright, so I might be jumping a little forward here how to print in the same line. So if you wanted to do that, you could, I'll jump back to here and let's come up here. What we could do is we could do print hello world plus Power Rangers. Why is this not working? Oh, because I'm not up here. There we go. So as you can see, let me just rerun that. So you can separate it here by like with a plus sign, and like if you did a comma, it would show the comma. So with the plus, you're just adding the two strings together. So why is this useful? Adding two strings like this when you can do it like this, or this may be a little crazy. What we can do is we can create data types to reuse later on in our program. So what this means is we can come down here and we can do string, no, we can do, let's see, hello equals hello world, and we could do power equals Power Rangers. Then we can print hello plus power. I may have messed this up. I think I did. I think I have to put string. Nope, that's not right. Why? Oh, it's not a variable. Why is that not working? What is the problem here? What is the problem here? Why isn't this running? Oh god, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I don't need terminal either. This isn't my, let's try clearing the output. And we will, oh, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. That's why. Okay, so I was doing this right. I was hitting the wrong buttons, my bad. Alright, there we go. So again, this does the exact same thing, and there is a there's no space here because we didn't add one. So what we could do, if you wanted to actually add these two separate strings together, you can always just put a blank space with a plus. You can save this and we can run that, and bam, see, this came out exactly. This is just adding these two data types together. Write a sentence. Okay, we can write a sentence. Let's go right below here. Print a sentence. And we can just, again, it's just a simple string. So we could say, hello world, we are the Power Rangers. And bam. And right there, you got another string. And again, we could assign that to a data type to print it again, again and again and again. We could literally do something crazy and just do hello, 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 and we could just print it a bunch. Oops. Oh, I selected the one line of text. See, hello. Hello world, hello world. And again, if we use plus signs, actually, if I'll show you this real quick. If I use a plus sign and then a period, it'll add these two strings together. That's why there's no space, and then it'll show the comma for that one. So does that make sense? Let me know if you have any more questions on strings. We'll come back to this if we have to. I'm gonna get rid of that line. I'm gonna kind of clean this up a bit. Just kind of remove some of the white space. and we'll save that, and we will get out of here. And I'm going to jump ahead real quick, and we're going to mess around with some math. But first, I'm going to import two libraries we're going to need in a little bit. So I'm going to import math, and I'm going to import random, and we're going to use these in a little bit, and I will explain those. So we're going to mess around with some math. So what we're going to do, let's get this out of here. Let's take that out of our strings, and let's put that in our math. And now when I run this, this will just run this file 61527 as we had before. Please stop me if you're having trouble understanding a concept or anything. That's why I did this live, because I figured it'd be a lot cooler that way. Helps people learn, I think. This is helping me learn. I love teaching Python because it helps me just nail in the fundamentals. So we already saw how to print different, expressions and strings. So what are some of the more advanced things you can do later on? And that is print a random number. So what you can do is you can do print random.rand. Oops, and then you could do 0 through 9. And you could save this. Oops, did I mess that up? That's right, there we go. My bad. There we go. And it'll print a random integer over and over again. So we can paste this a couple times. And what we can do is we can do some fancy stuff just so we remember. Pick print random number between 0 and 9. And then we can come down here and we'll do this. We'll space these out and we'll do 099, and we'll just make that a 99. So this is very similar. If you've programmed in other languages, this is very similar to range. We're between 0 and 25, and we will use that for something else, and we will use this one for something else as well. And I'm just going to do 40, and I'll show you. We're going to use each one of these for different things later on. Let me just double check, open this real quick and make sure things are still up and running. Okay, we're looking good. Alright, so let's run this real quick, and we're going to get a whole bunch of random numbers. So print random number between 0 and 9, we got a 2. Prints random number between 0 and 99, we got a 36. Prints random number between 0 and 25, we got a 2. Prints random number between 0 and 40, we got an 8. So what if we wanted to do more fancy stuff with this? What we could do is we could, let's come down here to the 0, 9, and let's add, well, let's declare our, no, let's not do that. I'm going to try and keep this separate. So right here, we're going to print a random number plus an integer. So what we're going to be doing here is right here, let's make an integer, and we'll just call it integer. That's terrible naming convention, but we will just do it so we all are on the same page, and we're going to just pick 5. And then down here, what we can do is we can just do plus 5. And so what this is going to do is, and it won't seem obvious or anything because we're just adding 5 to this, but what this did is this actually got the number 46 and it added 5 to it. But you can't tell because it's adding it right here. So it kind of looks like a random number. But a way we can double check this is let's come down here. And I'm just going to copy this integer 2. Again, terrible naming convention. I'm just trying to keep things simple right now. So we're going to do 5 again. And we're also going to do random integer. And we will equal this to this. So instead of just printing the random right here right away, what we're going to do is we're going to equal that to the random integer. So what we can do to be fancy is we can print, what we can do is we can do this random number is space plus random integer. Oops, my bad. Oh wait, no, I'm doing the right thing. What am I thinking? Oops. Okay, sorry, I got a pop-up asking for my Gmail. Okay, random number is plus the random integer. Print random integer plus 5. And if we run this, oops, I got a crap. What was this supposed to be? What is it in Python? We can just do this. We can just do random integer. I think that's what I'm supposed to do anyway. Yeah. For this, yeah, for this example, we'll just do that. Random number is, and let's actually just, because we can do that. Random number is, and then it shows that it was a 6, and then it added 5 to it right here. So total. So again, right here, random numbers 3 plus 5. Total is random number plus 5. So I'm hoping that I hope that makes a little more sense. Right now we're going to do something more advanced right here, and there is a way to make this 2-string, and we'll worry about that later on when we get to that, I guess. Let's see, what are you saying? If you could a cartoon, if you could voice one superhero, who would it be? If I could voice one superhero, who would it be? Ant-Man. Like if there was like a cartoon Ant-Man or Spider-Man, or maybe Deadpool. I did Deadpool before for a fan project, and that was cool. So down here, what we'll do is we'll do what we did up here with the comma, but I'll show you a way you can actually add this together like I was trying to before, but we will do it here. Prints random number, and this is where things get kind of cool. Prints a random number plus a random number plus another. Alright, prints random number plus a random number. So let's just copy what we got up here. And I was actually wrong, this should be a 25 here because 0 and 25. So right here we're going to do 40 because it says right here prints a random number between 0 and 40. Prints a random number between 0 and 12. And we'll take this, and you're going to see this will override this, and this will get overwritten. So what we need to do is I'm just going to add 40 and 12 here, and that is awful practice, but we will do it for this example. So, and then we're going to do print let's actually bring this down here, and we'll bring this one down here too. And then we're going to do plus string random integer 40. And then we are going to do the same here with plus string random integer 12. And so that is going to let us convert our integers to a string. So you can see that the first one, random number between 0 and 40, was 21, and the second random number between 0 and 12 was 5. And we're going to go back through this to kind of nail it in the head for you guys. So now what we can do to take this another step forward is we can do, let's see, total random ints equals random integer 40 plus random integer 12. And then we can get real crazy down here and type in total random ints. And that'll add the total with the 2. Say with great power, there must also come great responsibility. What kind of voice do you want me to say it in? Alright, so we're going to print total random ints, but then we're going to do something crazy. We're going to do, actually, let's do this. We're going to get the square math dot square root of total random integers. And this is math dot. That is using the import math that I brought in. I brought that library in earlier. Do you remember that? So we're going to up here, we're going to add another comment. Oops. Adds adds the random integers and finds the square root. So we're going to just print the square root of this right now. And if we do this, boom, there's the square root. And there's also other functions where you can bring them, you can round them up, you can find the absolute and all of that stuff and whatever. And what we can do, no, what was I trying to do? No, not here. Okay, so I don't want to get too complicated yet. That was just, I just wanted to show you how easy it is to import libraries and import libraries and use them, and it's pretty simple once you learn them, and they're very powerful, as you can see here. And what's cool about Python is it's object oriented, but it's a scripting language, so it's one of the easier languages to learn, and which is great because it'll prepare you for when you move on to another object-oriented language like C#, for example, or JavaScript. So let's jump back and let's just let's see, what should we do? We did hello world, we added numbers, we found the square root. Let's do an if statement. We haven't done if-else statements. If-else statements. And I am kind of going through these concepts pretty quick. Check if a number is greater than 10. So we're going to create an integer, another data type like before, and we're going to check if the number is greater than 10. If, that's a keyword, I'm going to capitalize. If, let's do this. If, no, that's confusing. If the number is greater than 10, print awesome. If the number is not greater than 10, print too bad. And greater, and I'm going to capitalize that. So let's create an integer, and we're going to call this check. And we're going to equal this to, let's actually grab a random number. That would be cool. Import random, and we will grab a random number, and we will do random.randint, and we will do 0 to 20. That way we've got numbers under 10 and numbers over 10 to check if it's greater than or less than 10. And then, so that is our check. So create or get a random number to check. And we will do if, or let's see, how should we do this? If check is greater than 10, print awesome. Else print too bad. And I will explain this better in a minute, but let's just see what happens. So let's actually, up here, we're going to print the random number first so we can see what it is, and then we can see how this works together. And we're going to hit that. So the random number it got was 13, and because if check, which is 13, so if 13 is greater than 10, we're going to print awesome to the output. If not, if this isn't met, then it's going to print this. And you can take this out and it'll still work the same way. See, so 7 is less than 10, but we don't have a statement saying what to do. So that's just printing, that's just running this, and since this isn't fulfilled, it's not going to do anything. So if we run this again, oh, okay, no, that's a 10. There we go, 20, awesome. So now, since it met this, it's it printed. I'm sure that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know. All right. Say it in Spider-Man. Okay, say with great power there must also come great. So with great power comes great responsibility. That's the quote, I believe, right? Spider-Man's or Uncle Ben's. With great power comes great responsibility. That didn't sound like Uncle Ben or Spider-Man, but it sounded more of like a, I don't know. You should become a comic book writer as a side job. Imagine working for Marvel that way. Yeah, I know, right? I wish. So what if we want to check if the number is equal to or greater than, right? So you could just add an equal sign, and this means we're going to check if the number check is greater than or equal to 10. So what I'm going to do is change this to 10 and change this to 10. That way it'll always pick 10. And we can show you 10. Awesome. But I'm going to put this back to 0 and 20. And now there's something else. What if you want to check one condition and then check another condition before going to the final condition? So we could do an if else. So if else, or I'm sorry, it's called elif for short. Elif check is not, or what am I trying to do here? Yes. We're going to take out the equals up here, and we're going to do it down here. If check is equal to 10, print it's 10. It is 10. We'll go over why that errored out later on in our life. There we go. You have to do double equals when you're checking if something is equal to it. So 2 equal signs. Otherwise, you get this catastrophe. And then this is doing this because of that. And we'll go over that later on. Because see how... Oops. See what's happening? It's seeing an ending quote. So what you can do is it's 10. And that's where you want to use double quotes. Like that. We got to put the equal sign back here. So that is how you can get around using apostrophes, is by using double quotes. And that way it's not saying, oh, hey, the quote ends here, because an apostrophe is the same as a single quote. So I hope that makes sense. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to put this back to 1010. So this is going to find a random number between 10 and 10. Obviously it can only pick 10. And so it's saying it's 10. And we're going to put this back to 0 and 20. And now what we can do is we can do another elif, check if it's equal to range 7 to 9, right? So and then we will do print so close. So basically what this does is this checks if it is equal to any of the numbers in this range. So if we do 7 and 9, and then we do this, oops, did I mess that up? What did I do? I think I messed that up and I'm blanking on that. I might have to come back to that later. Yeah, I'm blanking on this. Well, okay. I know there's a way to do that, check the range, but what we can do is equal to 7 or, oops. See? So, a lot of programming languages uses that as their or. Python doesn't do that. Python's nice to you. Python is very nice to you. They're just straight up, like, straight up. They just want you to be, you should look up, if you're really interested in Python, look up the Zen of Python. It's actually kind of funny. But yeah, so this is checking if it's equal to 7 or equal to 8 or equal to 9. And it's going to print so close if it's any of them. So we're going to put this back to 0 and 20. So that is a basic if statement. We can come down here and we can just do bool. No, let's do word. I'm just going to do word. And equals true if word print true if word true. And so since I said if word, that is just checking if it's true or false. So if I came here see how it's not going to do anything because it's false? Well, actually I should do this. So this is one way of checking. If it's not equal to true, print false. And that's one way to check a Boolean. Stuff like that. There's other ways of doing that. There's plenty of other ways of doing doing bool checks, but we'll get into that in the future if I do more of these. Get a random number. We're going to print the random number here. I'm commenting this now so you can just kind of get it ingrained. And check number condition and print results. Result based on the random integer. So that is an if-else statement. So let me check the chat. Say Deadpool's favorite food. Chimichangas? Right? So, how about we do something fun? Let's actually make a real working project that does something. We're going to make a calculator, a simple calculator. Let's call it simple calculator. And this will wrap up this stream. And this will really give you the basics. I think that will be good enough, because where are we at for time? Ugh. 45 minutes, wow. So we're going to make a calculator real quick, and what we can do is we can make functions, and ouch, sorry. Is Garab still here? Okay, anyway. So what we can do is, I haven't taught you what a function does, or how it works, or how to write one. So in Python, making a function is very simple compared to some languages, and you just type def. And actually, let's do a comment. Here we will create our math functions. And I don't believe, let me think. No, okay. We do not need to import math. We don't need to import random either. Here we will create our math functions. So right below here, we're just going to create 4 functions, one for addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. And so let's start with addition. And we will take 2 numbers. So let's see, what is this error? What is it saying? What's it bitching about? Should be wrong. I think it's because it doesn't return. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I just want to be sure I wasn't screwing up. So you start a function by saying def. And you give it a name. Here, let me hover this for you. Oh, that's going to do that. All right, I'm going to put return here, and I will explain that. Why is that still? I am indented, you pain in the ass. Anyway, so you say def, you give it a name, and you put what parameters you want it to come in. Oh, you're leaving? Alright, have a good night, JT. Okay. You create a definition, you give it a name, and you give it the parameters you want to pass. But you need to return something. And so what we're doing is we're returning x plus y. And those will be our, we're just adding numbers together, because this is our addition. And I don't know why this is being expected an indented block on line 3. Do you need to be indented? Is that what you're bitching about? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I don't understand why this is happening. Let me try rewriting this in case it's just being picky. I don't understand why it's being a brat. What am I forgetting here? No, not Jesus. I don't understand what's happening. Oh, okay, I saved it and it was fine. Alright, so def subtraction, and we're going to again take x and y, and we're going to do the same thing, but it's going to be x minus y, and then we're going to do division, and we're going to take those two parameters and we're going to return x divided by y, and then our last one, which is multiplication, and that'll be x y returns x times y. So what we want to do is we want to take two numbers. So we're going to call num1 and num2, and these are going to be our two numbers that the user can input, and it will, yeah. Why is that not? Okay. So we're going to take, let's see, we want to take two inputs that the user can type in. And we're going to do, no, we need to do int input. Input, oh shit. Enter your first number. Input, enter your second number, and then we're going to take, well, let's actually run this. Print num1. Sorry, it's late here. I don't know why I decided to do this right now. Okay, so enter your first number. It's asking, so I'm gonna put, oh, it's read only. Why is it not letting me? Man, how is this going to? I can't remember the function to run in the terminal. Run Python in terminal. I can't remember what it is exactly. There it is. There we go. So we're going to enter 3 and we're going to enter 7, and that's going to print both of our numbers. So the reason I had to do this in terminal is because output is read only, and I couldn't remember the exact thing you have to write. So I haven't used that in a while because I mainly use Python for scripts, web scraping, stuff like that. So we're going to type clear. And we're going to get rid of these, and we are going to take choices. We need to take we need to ask the user what they want. So we're going to choose operation. Choose an operation, and we're going to print addition. Addition. Let's see. Select. Enter number. That means the user will know to enter a number to select. Yeah. So we're going to print all of these like that. There we go. And we have 4 prints and a sentence telling the the user what to pick. And actually what we can do is we can do choose an operation, and then we can make the choice. Put select 1, 2. Now this will, let's just print choice to test our program. We can enter 3 and 6, and then we're going to pick 1. And it prints right here, so we selected, I'm going to add a space there, like that. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just take, yeah, I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to put a print. And we're going to separate this and be nice and clean about it. And we're going to run this again. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rename this file to simple calc. That way I have a lot less to type here. 7, 4. We're going to select 1, and so it's going to print 1, and we can do this again. We're going to pick 7 and 8, not that it matters right now, and 3, and that shows our choice. I wonder if I can do this. Python simple calc.py, and select that. Can I paste that in here? Clear. Yes. Okay, cool. I've got that. There we go. I've got that copied, so we can do that. And we're going to move this down. And I just selected those and dragged them down. Normally, I would cut and paste, but I have that run Python in my clipboard, so I didn't want to get rid of that. So we're going to select our choice, and right here, and we're going to not print the choice anymore because we don't need to print the choice. And we're going to enter your first number and enter the second number, and then we're going to do a big if statement, and we're going to do if choice equals 1, addition, which is calling our method, and we're going to pass number 1 and number 2. And basically what I always had for a long time I had trouble understanding how a method works, because you're going up here and you're saying okay, x and y, and then down here you're telling it to return x and y. So why don't you have to put x and y down here? Well, because x and y don't have values. So what you can do is you can tell it, okay, get this function addition, which takes 2 parameters, and we're assigning x and y to num1 and num2. So instead of x and y, it's num1 and num2. So let's imagine right here, this is num1, this is num2. Well, that would mean num1 and num2. So you're doing num1 plus num2. So we choose addition num1, num2. Then we do elif choice equals 2. What was number 2? Number 2 was subtraction. Subtraction num1 minus num2. Oh, and actually we're going to print our answer equals num1. Oh wait, no, we can't do that. Print. Well, no, we'll worry about that in a minute. Elif choice equals 3. Anybody say anything? Okay. So, oh yeah, we actually, that's why we want to print this. My bad, I got confused. We're going to print this, print, and print, and choice print our division, pass it num1 and num2 again, and then we're going to give another elif choice equals 4, and I'll show you why my last check isn't an else in a second. Multiplication num 2. So let's test this real quick. We're going to run this, and we're going to choose subtraction, and we're going to choose 10, 3, and that should equal 7. So let's actually do this. Answer plus string, and we're going to wrap this in another thing so we can put our answer your answer. So let's just take, I'm just going to take all of this here, and then add that, and then add that, and that, and we can do that there, and that there. And now, and I got rid of my Python simple account for copying that, so let's get this here. Paste that there, and we're going to do division, so 10 divided by 2.5. Oh wait, that won't work. 10. Oops, I just did not a good thing. We're gonna run this again. I was getting a little ahead of myself. Multiplication, 3 times 3. Your answer is 9. Cool. Well, okay. So what if we did this? What if we selected 5, right? Well, now it's going. So what's it gonna do? 3 and 3. And then it just doesn't do anything. So how the fuck is that useful? You know what I mean? I'm sorry I swore. Didn't mean to get a little crazy, but that's not helpful at all, right? So what we want to do is we actually want to move these into each one of our choices, and that way we can do this. And I will show you what I'm going to do with my else statement, and then we will test our program again. And again, the reason this is all airing out, and I'm going to space these out because that's just going to become a mess. So right here we're going to do our else. And else, if the choice entered is anything but what it said, we're going to print choose, or invalid choice. Invalid choice. What's up, Mr. Gimmick? Alright, so we are going to put invalid choice. And now when we run, oops, I did it again. Britney Spears, Python, simple calc.py. And we will take this out here, and we will just hit enter there to get rid of that. And so let's say I enter hello. Well, that's going to give me a big error, right? So what if we come in here and we type in 8? That's an invalid choice. So we're going to do choice equals string input, right? Because we also want to check string, or let's do string choice. And going to do choice. I think I actually messed this up. This might actually not work. Oops. Clear. Yeah, that's not going to work right now. We'll come back to that. We'll do check checks for strains later in life. So we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to now if we run this program, oh, friend word Z, yeah man, what's Ghost Town. Okay, so now that we got our entire calculator working, we can test this a bunch. So let's Python simple calc.py. I would just get this back on my clipboard so I can run this, and we're going to do 1, 3, 3, and 6, and then we're going to run it again, and we're going to try subtraction. 6, 3 should be 3. We're going to run this again. We'll do 100 divided by 25 should be 4, and then we're going to run it again, and we're going to select 4, which is multiplication. We're going to do 25 times 4 should be 100. And we're going to run it one more time, and we're going to pick some random number, and it's going to say invalid choice. So all of our whole calculator works with 4 basic functions: addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. And you could do this a whole different way. You could just you could, well, we can leave this. I was going to comment them out, but that won't matter. We could just do, you know, instead of that, we could do string num1 plus num2, and that'll still work the same. We'll come down here and we'll select 1, 3, 3, and your answer is 6. But it's I just wanted to show you how functions worked. So we could do this entirely without creating these, but this lets you call that anywhere, and you don't have to write that out every time, even though it's just as long. But if you have some crazy mathematics here, like, you know, like this, and then you ran this, I don't even know if this will work, but yeah, okay. So see, but who wants to write this every time, right? Which will still work. So let's go back in here. Oops. Damn it. Python simple calc.py. And we could go to addition, and we can do 3 plus 200. And that's going to give us a big ass number, right? So that still works the same. So we're going to actually undo this. We're going to keep our function, and we're also going to get rid of this nonsense here. So now we have a full working calculator. And we'll get into later about how you can do a loop for this. We can add, just to quickly give you an example, you can do for number in numbers. No. For, well, how do I, you know what, I'm not going to get into for loops right now. You can do a for loop, so every time it increments it returns back or something, and that way we can what am I trying to say here? That way we can return, and we don't have to run the program again. Oops, I didn't mean to open game capture. That program sucks on this computer, by the way. Oops. Let's go back to our output. Actually, let's clear our output. Let's clear our terminal. Oops. And so now we have a simple calculator. And so those are some of the things that you can do pretty simply with Python. And we made a calculator in under 50 lines of code. And you could even compress this even a little bit more if you wanted to. Let's see how many lines it really is. And let's take this comment out. So we made a calculator in 33 lines of code. And if you took all these out, because you could technically do it without those functions, 25 lines of code, right? So that's pretty cool. But it's good practice to write functions, get used to writing functions, because when you get into actually writing big programs or big scripts and stuff, you're going to have a lot of functions. So I hope these 4 programs were cool that we made. I will probably do actual tutorial videos, not streams, of how to do certain things. Because I enjoyed this, I'm sure you guys will too. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm gonna just hang out and talk to you guys for a little bit, because it has been, let's see, over an hour, which is a long time. Let's see here. Hot bars, Fuvar. Why don't you shut up? Jeez, Ben, are you cool, Ben? Ben, you're insane. Why am I insane? Alright. I'm in an icebox because of my stream overlay. I love it. Nice. I don't know why my chat isn't working again. It like stopped. Oops. It hasn't been 1 year. I uploaded a video like not too long ago. You guys always come at the end of the stream, every time. You guys need to subscribe to notifications. That's what you need to do. 6 months absence vid was only 4 months after the last one. I know that, but you haven't streamed in a year. Really? Shit. I guess I haven't. You're right. I haven't done a lot. I've been a very busy person. What, you should have woken up, Mr. Gimmick. Missing time. My chat box isn't showing up and it's really annoying me. Grr. I don't know why that doesn't work. Whatever. I don't really get on my PS4 much, and I probably didn't see it. Or I didn't know who it was and I ignored it. So I'm sorry. Double check and add me again in case I deleted it. But I'm pretty sure, yeah. My Xbone is great. My Xbox One is pretty good. I like it. Alright, so I'm just going to mess around with Python while I sit and talk to you guys for a bit. Because I can. And I want to. What? Ben, are you at 12 now? What do you mean? Ben, do you work for the government now? No, I don't. How much porn have you done recently? 0. Pretty sure my girlfriend would probably kill me. There we go. Okay. Now I got it installed. I think. What the hell, man? Ben, please elaborate on the porn you have done in the past. When you almost got shot. Man, yeah, I got some weird stories, don't I? Shit. Capitals. There we go. Ugh. Let's see. You were one silly motherfucker. Nice. Can I speedrun any games? God of War. What are those attributes? H3s. Yeah, that's the one thing that sucks. Button mashing. I should stream that. That'd be sweet, man. Alright, cool. So that actually worked. Now I just gotta parse it better. So I want the... Ben, you need to make update on your Xbox One collection, show the 2 games that were added this year. A lot more get added every time, Mr. Gimmick, okay? You just don't notice. Because you suck. Because you suck. Title. Oops. What the hell? Damn it. I can't remember how to do it. Rise, son of Rome 2, son of Rise. Nice. To be fair, he's going to get Minecraft 2 first. Sunset Overdrive 2, son of Overdrive. Nice. Best GTA, my favorite's Grand Theft Auto, Vice City. That's right, we do. And that is how you web scrape. What language would you learn? Like a speaking language or programming? Oh, I gotta go to bed soon. Damn. Damn it. That's great, Mr. Gimmick. Ben, give yourself 1 million subs. That'd be fantastic. Who did you make win in this election? I didn't vote. I'm an awful human being, I know. I don't want it to run anymore. Damn it. No, I would not, friendward Z. I don't have much to protect. Yeah, I probably should protect my girlfriend, shouldn't I? Damn it. Just kidding. I don't. No, I wouldn't. That I might do. Just kidding. I do, yes. Of course. Of course I have beef with BuzzFeed, those fucks. And to all of them, friend word. All of them. Just kidding. Kind of. Damn it. I am being impaled by ice picks. Alright, I'm gonna go now, because this is driving me nuts. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for stopping in. I hope I helped teach you stuff. Goodbye, everybody. Good night. Good morning.